subscribe. Tariq Radio. Like and subscribe.
Mr. Warren, hop on in.
The opportunity to speak. So, do you only talk about like the recent events?
Talk about
Because
everything, Warren.
okay. So, is that okay to talk about Israel?
That's kind of off topic, you know. It's kind of an off.
Yeah, no, it's I know off topic, but it happened just yesterday. The 220-point peace deal.
So
I just That's the reason that I say that. But if you think it's off topic, I don't bring it up. It's up to
yeah,
you.
this audience don't really care about that. Now you have an accent. Where are you from?
Actually, I'm originally Iranian.
Iranian. Okay, that's okay. Yeah, it's relevant to you because the Muslims and Jewish thing. There's the conflict going over there, so I can understand.
Yeah, actually,
Yeah.
you're right. Actually, the Iranians want Reza Pahlavi, and then Reza Pahlavi supported by Israel. Iranian people support Israelis. Israeli people support Iranians. So all of this conflict. So that is between Iranians and other countries in the region, and the evil dictatorship that is pushing the Islamic agenda. Meanwhile, less than 35% of Iranians, for example, are Muslim.
Now you're conservative, right?
Yes, I'm a conservative libertarian in sense of economy. I'm really libertarian in sense of actually like geopolitics. I lean more like not interventionist, but like value the allies of the West.
Okay. And
I think
are you in the U.S. or the U.K. right now?
I'm in Europe. I'm not in the US. I'm in Denmark.
Denmark. Okay. Now let me ask you this, because you understand American politics and social media and public figures. Are you a fan of Charlie Kirk?
Yes, I'm a fan of Charlie Kirk, but mostly because he was very supportive of Israel.
Okay.
Also supported conservative values, free market, free speech. Like the most important value that he was carrying on was free speech when he supported that, no matter what. So unlimited free speech, and that's why like he got killed for speech, and that's his legacy. So it must be honored.
Oh, okay. So do you believe a lot of the stuff he said about black people?
A lot of stuff that is said about black people, like like about the Civil Rights Act. So when we talk about Civil Rights Act, so I actually don't agree if he says that's wrong, but when he says like when they push trans agenda into the Civil Rights Act, I think that was wrong and like hurting like the black community. So I think there are two vulnerable communities that's like the black community and the Jewish community, and I think a lot of stuff that Charlie Kirk said was a bit like maybe a bit exaggerated sometimes, but no, it was like it was on point. But sometimes people say in a way that it's not actually kind of like the way that you think is, but they are saying that in a good way, in a good faith, but they're actually a bit sometimes using the words that is a bit inappropriate and might put our thoughts
Oh,
into like distract our thoughts into another way.
okay, so him talking about how black people are criminals and we do all this crime and that's good faith?
No, he didn't say that like black people do all the crimes. The most criminal people like actually they are Islamists because rape is actually like accepted in Islam and all of these things. But he said about like the data, the status, because how the like how they, for example, how they say okay so the crimes that committed by like the black population because for example the Democrats, the politicians, they
Man, see what man? These Charlie Kirk people can never stand on business, man. Man, I keep telling y'all, but when you ask them to stand on some Charlie Kirk business, stand on his words. Well, well, he had what he had meant was, Great Black Shark, hop on in here, brother. Warren, we didn't forget about you. I got Great Black Shark in here. Damn. Great Black, wait for that mute. Might be a double mute there, brother. Might be a double mute. All right, just unmute your microphone, Great Black.
Yes, sir. Can you hear me okay, good brother?
Loud and clear.
I want to say something to Warren. And Warren, you said you're Iranian, right? Is that correct, Warren? Asking you a
Yeah,
question,
go ahead.
Warren.
Go ahead.
Okay. So you're Iranian, right? I'm trying to confirm that. Hello, Warren. Are you Iranian?
I said yes. Go on.
Okay. All right. Hey, calm your voice down, first of all now. Hey, don't do that with me. Let me tell you something. And
No, I
everybody
mean,
else
go
like
ahead.
you. Hey,
Just
all right. Hey,
answered yes.
quiet. Go back on mute. Let me tell you and the rest of your people something, and any white person, whoever, no matter what your political leanings is. I'm going to make this blunt, but I'm going to be somewhat vulgar with this. I don't think there's any sensible human being in here that if you like ice cream and they told you that, hey, you know this ice cream you ordered, there's specks of shit in it, so we're gonna serve it to you anyway. I don't think any of you would eat that. So when you come over here talking to foundational Black American freedmen about Charlie Kirk and all this anti-Black racism, and you kind of leaning halfway on the fence, you do know that that doesn't fly amongst us, right? Y'all like that man because he was a stomp down anti-Black racist, and the audacity for you to come over here in the beginning and start talking about a cause that concerns your people, but you definitely don't have the same respect for foundational Black American freedmen. Do you know how disrespectful that is? You and anybody that's an immigrant would not be here if it wasn't for our ancestors and elders fighting for the civil rights for you to come here. I think a lot of you are confused and you think that white people wanted you over here. They didn't. What's it going to take to get that through y'all thick heads? Do y'all even know that history? I'm talking to you, Warren.
Warren? Warren?
I'm here. Yes, I'm here. Yeah, I'm listening.
And I'm asking you to answer the question. Do you know the history of this country that white people, traditionally white, not those of you that classify as white on paper,
But
they
I
did
just
not
want to
want
ask you a
y'all here?
question. Do you know that the Muslims enslave more black people than whites? Like whites enslave less black people than
Let me
Muslims.
give you the
So,
same
fu-
thing that I told
okay.
RJ. Let me
So if you
give you
want
the
to
same
protect
thing.
black
Hey,
people, just fucking
When
talk
I'm
about
talking, you
Islam.
be
Just
quiet. Nope. Y'all not gonna come over into our spaces and dominate the conversation. Let me tell you, like I
okay.
told RJ,
I'm
don't
not
come
having a
over
dumb
here.
conversation.
Shut
I'm
the
just
fuck
telling you that
up.
Islam has
Shut up. Shut
statistics.
up. I'm
Statistics
talking. Be
shows
quiet.
that
I don't have to
Islam
respect you.
enslaves
I
more
don't
black
have to
people.
respect you. Be quiet.
Okay.
Like I said, I know the history of the slave trade and my people. Don't come over
And
here
I
with that
know that,
condescending tone,
but you're
trying to
ignoring the
dictate to
history about
people
slave
that know
trade
their
in
own history.
North
Be
African
quiet.
parts. They actually
Be
ethnically
quiet. No,
cleansed black
you're
people,
not going to
and they
change the
actually
subject.
put their
You're not going to change the subject.
families
Be quiet
inside of
with all of that
North
babble.
Africa.
The
So North
point is
Africans were
this.
Africans,
The
not
point
fucking
is
Muslims.
this. You're not going to overtalk me. Shut the
Oh,
fuck up. The
you are
point is
pro
this.
Islam. So you're
The
actually a
point is
propagandist.
this.
Oh,
For
Islam is good.
Israel
Oh,
and
why is
for
that
your
Islam good?
people.
Okay.
That's where we at with it over here. See, I'm not afraid to tell you what's on most of my people's mind. To hell with you and your people if you don't have any
But
respect
you're
for us.
ignoring a big
You
part of
worship
history that black people
an
enslaved by
anti-black
Muslims. So
racist
actually,
Charlie Kirk, and then you come over here trying to sneak under the radar as if you got some kind of solidarity with us. Have you lost your mind? You're
you have
crazy.
lost your fucking
You
mind
and the
because
rest of these
because
people
you are
are
not.
crazy. No. Bottom
No,
line is, if you respect
because
white
you're actually
supremacists, you are
choose
not an
Islam
ally
over
to my
white people
people.
because
And
Islam Muslims
furthermore,
enslaved more black people and actually
you
had
can't
them as
talk
sex
louder than me.
slaves.
I promise you that. And
Muslims
furthermore,
has black people
and
had black people as sex slaves
furthermore,
and slaves,
and
but you're
furthermore,
ignoring
you
this.
do not come over here trying to assert your causes and concerns to a people
Your
that you
concerns.
don't
So you
respect.
say your concerns,
No,
but
I'm telling you.
but Muslims
No.
enslaved
I'm
more
telling
black
you what
people
I'm saying.
than.
Hold on. Okay. Let me ask Warren. So Warren, Let me talk to Warren for a second. Warren, you said Muslims enslave black people. Warren, hop back on the mic. Warren,
Yes,
Muslims enslave black people. Okay. And the point is, Warren, unmute your mic, Warren. It might be a double mute. Unmute your mic. I want you to get that point off. Warren, unmute your mic, please. It might take you a second. It might be a double mute, but try to unmute your mic.
No, his mic just janky.
Yeah. Warren?
yeah. Now I can speak. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Muslims enslave black people in Africa. Okay. The point is what?
The point is that actually they enslaved more black people than white enslaved black people. So actually, Muslims did more slavery than the white people. That's my
Okay.
point.
And the point is, okay, what does that have to do with anything?
So because he's saying that because he was talking actually about slavery, and he said okay the white people like slave black people, and I said no, actually Muslims slaved more than the white people that he's talking about. So why isn't he standing against the Muslims and demonizing Islam in the
Because
right way? Because Islam actually did the worst to every single groups that they've faced during the um, wars in the
we,
7th century.
we weren't enslaved by the Muslims though. We were enslaved by the Anglos, the white supremacists.
So actually, the Muslims enslaved more black people. So actually,
But yeah,
Muhammad was
but
racist itself,
we
was
weren't.
anti-black.
We weren't. We were over here. This is not a Muslim country. We were enslaved by the white supremacists who were white
Yes,
Christians. So
but
that's who we
you are
deal with.
talking about only the people like the black people who are in America, or you're talking about black people in general? Because if you talk about black people in general, so they enslaved more by Muslims than by white people.
Yeah, but they have to deal with that. We're dealing with the white supremacists, and the white supremacists control the Middle East too. Now, you said you're Iranian. Are you Muslim?
I'm ex-Muslim. I actually left Islam 2 years ago.
Oh, okay. So what's your religion now?
Nothing. I'm not an atheist. I just believe in a God, but I have no religious affiliation.
Standing up for the Muslims fighting against the Jews over there?
Muslims fighting against the Jews. Muslims just kill everyone. They are anti-Christian. So, for example, in Iran, if a Muslim just visit a Christian church, so it's blasphemy.
Okay, so you're supporting Israel.
Actually, 60-70% of Iranians support Israel, to be honest.
Okay,
And yes,
so
and
you're
they actually pro Reza Pahlavi, the guy who the crown prince, whatever. Yes.
so you're supporting Netanyahu in Israel.
Yes, Netanyahu's career after October 7th was actually great.
Okay.
He killed every terrorist, Hezbollah, Hamas, Houthis, and then they attack Iranian regime and just make them weaken and kill almost most of their commanders.
Okay. So here's the thing. We black people, we were enslaved by the white Anglos, the white Christians. We were enslaved by the pale-skinned Arabs and Muslims. We were enslaved by the pale-skinned Jews. So all of you guys over there got your dibs on in the slave trade. So why even make a distinction?
So because the Jews, when you're talking, for example, about okay, so when you're, for example, talking about the Jews, so they were like much less. So you're talking about the numbers. So it's not like about generalizing the Jews, but like every single Muslim empire did that. So actually, like from the first Muslim empire that existed, from the 7th century, and they just like enslaved blacks. If you just know the story of Muhammad, he had a slave who was like singing Adhan every day. His name was Bilal. So actually, and he was like from Egypt. So like. So sorry, from I think Egypt or Tunisia, but whatever. I'm just saying that actually they cleansed the North Africa part, and now you don't see that the majority of them are black people, because
Yeah,
also like the Syrian, also Syria, like the nowadays Israel part. So all of those countries, they weren't Arabs, but Arabs conquered those parts, cleansed the local people,
Okay,
or
so slow
put them in
down,
exile, and then
slow
everything
slow
fine.
down, slow down. Okay, so now that we've established that there was a lot of those people over there in the parts of the world where you are, they did a lot of atrocious things to black people. So now the question is, why, just like our brother Great Black Shark was asking you, and y'all were getting into a shouting match, why should we be concerned about what's going over there? You kind of want us to have sympathy about what's happening there, and all of you enslaved us. So why should we be sympathetic?
I'm just saying that first of all, the Iranian Empire didn't take slaves. First of all, I just want to say that
Y'all did
just
when y'all
from
were the
sources
Persian
that
Empire.
so the Persian Empire didn't take slaves,
I
like
said
having
y'all
black people.
did when y'all were the Persian Empire. Let's not act like this.
So
It
what
was
time?
always
What date
Iran.
by what king? What time? What date by what king? And some of the empires that were around, like Seljuk, they were Turks. They weren't Persians. So you
When
can.
did that distinction become? Never mind. See, look, y'all be misrepresenting
So you have
history
to give me,
so
like,
much,
when you're challenging me on Iranian history. So you have to give me actually the
brother. You went
exact
back to
king,
the eighth
an exact
century.
date.
You went back to the 8th century to demonize the Islamic empires. Was the Iranians around then?
So yes, there was Sassanid Empire, and they didn't actually
What were
take
they?
slaves.
That's
I mean, this
that's
dude went all the way back to Muhammad.
well,
Now,
The
that's a
Sassanid
lie.
back
Empire, they actually had like some proxies, like the
now,
Jews were their proxies, and they actually
Oh,
fought against the Arabs.
yeah, you're lying. And to be clear, the only reason why they had this big situation in the Middle East was because those white Anglos you keep defending, they convinced the Catholic Church to do this thing called the Crusades. I'm not sure if you remember that, and they decided to take back the Holy Land from the heathens, and they went around murdering Muslim women, children, and babies just
Who
because
murdered
Islam.
Muslim women, children? Who murdered
The
them?
Catholics, which they took soldiers, the
So Muslims
Crusades.
started conquer first.
Who
So
that
Muslims
is not
started war
true.
first.
That is a lie. That is a
It's
lie.
actually true. No, it's actually true. Muslims started first
They
because
wanted to
Muslims.
take back the Holy
Do
Land from the
you know? Do
heathens.
you know Tariq ibn Ziyad? Do you know
You're
who
just
Tariq ibn
lying.
Ziyad is?
You're
Tariq ibn
lying.
Ziyad was the guy who actually went to Andalus,
Uh-huh.
which is the Spain,
And what
today's
did he
Spain,
do?
and he started conquering those parts.
Okay,
So
now
actually,
hold on.
you have to go
Now
from
now
Tariq
now
ibn
now is that
Ziyad
all of
to the
Europe or was that
other
just
guys
Spain?
who actually came into Europe.
Was that all of
So
Europe or was that just Spain?
it was Spain, but
Okay.
actually, like
So when the Crusades
but
came
the
about,
Abbasid, but it was
when the
the
Crusades came
but you are
about,
talking about the
where did they recruit
Crusades. So
soldiers
it
from?
was first the Umayyad Empire who did the conquer,
Listen, when
and then
they when they when
Abbasid
they
Empire who had
decided that they
proxies in
wanted
Iran.
to come back and retaliate, right? They grabbed soldiers from all over Europe, correct?
Who had soldiers all over Europe?
The
You just
the the,
repeat.
the Catholic Church has soldiers from all over Europe, and they
Yes,
decided to not just retaliate against the Spain situation, but they went all over the Muslim world because their true
it
target
was a
wasn't
defensive war. It was a
that is not
defensive war
true.
because
That is
Muslims
not
attacked
true.
first, and and they had the right to defend
That is
itself.
just a
Actually,
lie. See,
definitely.
now you just
No,
you
it's a
being
truth
so disingenuous right now. You know, like I know, what they did was they used that little whatever you want to talk about. If you want to believe that happened, because I don't, they used
because
that.
Muslims
They
tried to
used
build their
that
Islamic empire
to
in those
launch
regions,
an
and they want to
unprecedented
push
attack on
their
the entire
shit
Muslim
Islamic
world,
propaganda.
and
So
their
you're
excuse
just
was
defending
they
Islam.
wanted to take back the Holy Land from the heathens. They even referred to it as the Holy War. They told those
The
soldiers
Holy
from
War
all
because
over.
they
They told
attacked
those
first,
soldiers
and
from
they
all
were
over
like
Europe
actually
that if you go and fight in this
against the
war,
God.
all
They
of
were
your sins will be
antichrist.
absorbed.
That's why it
Now,
was a
what
holy
that
war.
meant to the priests was to get people more motivated. They told them they could do whatever they wanted because by fighting in this war, it was a guaranteed way into heaven. They committed some of the most atrocious acts in human history because, according to their priests, their cardinals, and their bishops, sins were completely forgiven no matter what they did because they decided to take up the holy fight. See, this is the disingenuous nonsense y'all come in here with. Y'all think we don't know history. What happened over between
You
the
think I
Arabs?
don't know history, and
What
you're
happened between the
pushing your
Muslims and the
nonsense
Arabs
actually,
and the
and you
black
say, "Oh,
people
this is
over
the
there,
holy
the
war." So
Africans over there? That has
when a person
absolutely
says
nothing to
that's
do with
holy
us.
war,
We are a
so it's
foundation of black
like
Americans. We are
so
dealing
the
with the people
Christians
who will
are
serve injustice to us,
like
and we're
being
fighting
wrong.
for our justice. That has nothing to do with us. Just
Justice.
like
So
you
actually,
have
lying about
absolutely
history,
nothing to do
try to
with the whole
defend the
Palestinian
shitty
situation.
Muslims
I
are
mean, listen,
justice.
you
Is
want to support
justice? Is
Israel,
that
that's
justice?
perfectly
No,
fine,
it's not.
right? Just like you didn't come here talking about Palestine, we ain't out here talking about the Africans who were enslaved by the Islamic people because they're still fighting that war right now. To this day, they're
Yeah,
still
but
fighting right
and
now.
you're
It has
actually
nothing to do
lying
with
about
us.
Crusades because you said, oh, it's not actually was of
Okay, so did the Catholic Church not push the soldiers to sign up in the event that their sins will be forgiven? Is that not what happened?
they like wanted they to sign up,
Yes or no? Yes. Did that
but
not happen?
actually,
Did that happen? Yes or no?
Repeat your question. Repeat your
I
question.
said, right? Did the Catholic Church recruit soldiers from all over Europe to fight in the Crusades by telling them that their sins will be forgiven no matter how harsh or heinous they were? Did that happen? True or false?
It's true because Muslims started
Okay,
first,
cool, cool,
and
cool,
they
cool, cool,
wanted
cool.
to recruit
So
the
did they?
soldiers
So
from
did they?
all over
So
Europe
when
to
they
fight
actually
against the
started, when the
demonic
soldiers started coming over there,
cult
this is
of
where you get the Knights
Islam.
Templar stuff. When those soldiers actually started coming over there, right? Did they not only did they attack multiple Muslim areas or just the one that attacked Spain?
So it was a defensive war. So,
They attacked multiple. See, answer the question. Yes
yes.
or no? All right. So they attacked
Let me just
multiple,
tell
right?
you something. Let
No,
me
no,
tell
no,
something.
no.
When the
What they
Iranian
told them
Empire just
was now the main
so all
speech was not
ancient
about
wars
it
was
being a
about
defensive
conquer.
war.
So
What
when
they
you
said
conquer
was
someone, they
the
can
Pope
conquer
had
you
a
back.
vision to take
So
back
wait
the
a minute.
Holy Land
So
from the
you
heathens.
think all is
This had
modern wars?
nothing to do with what you're
You
talking
are
about.
you're analyzing Asian wars like modern wars. You say,
Did he
oh, like
say?
modern
Okay, okay.
wars.
Was the
If a
quote? Was the
country
quote? Okay,
attacks, so
okay.
you
Just answer this
cannot
question for
conquer
me
them
real
back.
quick, and I'll mute up. Was the quote not? We should take back the Holy Land from the heathens.
Yes, they should. They
Okay,
wanted to
so
take
that
because
sound
actually the
defensive to
Muslims
you?
attacked first, and they want to take it from the
No,
Muslims
no, no,
because
no, no.
Muslims conquered, and they wanted to
A
start a
defensive war
defensive
is
war
repelling
and
enemies
to
from your land.
actually teach
That's
Muslims a
defensive.
lesson.
Anytime you go into other people's territory, that's not defensive. That's literally called launching an offensive, which is not
No,
defensive at all.
actually,
It's the
no.
exact opposite.
Let me tell you. So they entered their territory, which was Spain first, and then they wanted to defend
You sure
themselves,
about
and
that?
they have the right. They have the right to actually
Okay, so
conquer
did they
more
repel?
lands
Did they repel the
because
Muslims? See,
they
that's
are
not true.
fighting against the people who tried to conquer
That
their
was
land.
not the Catholic Church fight. They elected to hop into that fight because they wanted to take back the Holy Land from heathens. If you even
So
believe
they
that's
want
what
to take
happened,
the whole land, yes, because they attacked. They
that was
went
their
and attacked
goal.
Spain. They conquered Spain, so they just want to fight back. Where's the problem?
After they repelled them from Spain, right? What's the point in going further?
Because they actually conquered
That's
the
not
land.
defense. That's not defense. Like even right now, right? And it's not. You take a look at any type of war. If you can defend your borders, that's defense. Going past that is literally an offensive. Right now, America is supporting Ukraine under Joe Biden. They would not allow them to shoot weapons into Russia because that's not defensive. That's being offensive. You see what I mean? That has
So it's
always
actually
been.
defensive. For example, I'm
That
just
has
telling you
always
something.
throughout
So
history
when
been the
so
rules of
because
war.
so
Once you go
it's not
past your
offensive.
borders,
It's
it's an
actually
offensive.
defensive.
No, that's an offensive thing.
It's actually
Brother
defensive
Daniel,
when
You
they're
can't protect yourself in
when you
somebody else's
can.
house.
For example, I'm just giving you an example of 1967 war. So it was actually defensive because they first
We're not
the
talking
Arab
about that.
countries tried to conquer
You sit
Israel,
up here and lie like the
uh,
whole
and
idea
then the thing
of
that happened
Muslims
was they
being attacked. You try to make it seem like the
actually
Crusades
conquered
was
some
something that
parts
was
of
not
Egypt
offensive, and it actually
because
was.
they were
Then you try to
defending
throw in the Spain
themselves
situation,
from
knowing
the
good and damn
terrorists,
well the
and they
Catholic Church
actually
literally was
they
recruiting
had
people
a
for
right to do that
years to
because
go
it
take the
was
Holy
during a
Land back from
war
the
and you
heathens.
are actually
This
putting
wasn't no
your life.
matter of fact, it was a surprise attack. They had no idea this was coming. So it's crazy, like because
They
we know
had the
history
idea.
here.
Where was it?
Listen,
Where
if you want to come up here, you want to cape for Israel, you want to support Israel, that's your business, right? But don't put us in what you got going on. It has
No,
absolutely
you're
nothing to do
lying
with
about
foundation
history,
of
and you
Black
say,
Americans.
"Oh, in the Crusades, like
You just literally said yes to every question I
Christians
asked. When I
attacked
asked
first,
you
not
about when I
Muslims."
asked you
They're
about
actually
the
lying
Pope
about
giving a
history,
speech about taking the
not
Holy
me.
Land back to heathens, you agreed, right? When I asked you
hey,
about
brother Daniel,
them
brother
recruiting
Daniel.
soldiers all over Europe, you agreed. When I asked you about them soldiers, right, being told
So
that
they
they fought in
actually
this war
recruited
that
soldiers
they will
from
be
Europe
forgiven for
because
their sins,
Muslims
you agreed. That was the selling
were a
point to the
great
whole
empire,
war.
and
You know that
they
as well as I do. The only reason why
actually
you're pushing back against that is because it makes these white people you just talked about look worse than what you originally projected. Because at first you came out saying, "Oh, the Muslims are worse," and I just had to tell you about a time where the entire the Caucasian WASP world literally the Catholics came together to attack the Muslim world because they wanted the Holy Land back.
Yes, they want to attack the Muslim world because they just want to take their land back, and they also want to
The
take more
Holy
land.
Land was never
They
their
want
land.
to take more land because Muslims took their land,
The
and they
Holy
just want to
Land
get a
is literally
revenge.
the
It
Middle
was a
East, which
revenge
is
war. It
by
was.
definition not Europe. What are you talking about?
Hey, brother Daniel, I got something
What am
for
I
him since
talking about?
we
Of
wanted to
what?
not
So I
history.
said
Black
they,
hook up
for
here.
example, when they
I
conquer the
got something
land,
for you.
so you can conquer the land when,
Warren,
like
I got something for you. I got something for you, Warren. Since you wanted
Okay.
to speak history, by the way, that brother Daniel is right. He's very correct on his history. But I got something
Daniel
for
is
you.
just
Let's bring it
lying.
to present day.
Like he's
Let's bring
he's
it to
just
present
a
day.
waste
No.
anti-Semite. He's just
I have something for
anti-Semite.
you. We're gonna talk about present day. You come over here talking about your particular cause with that particular topic. Right now, the Ethiopian Jews are treated horribly over there, and so are the black Palestinians. So how are you going to come over here trying to act as if you're in solidarity with us or bring up something that we don't care about on either side, because they both treat continental Africans and black people the same over there. So there's some present day information for you. I'm gonna let you finish him off, brother Daniel.
Yeah, I think the facts don't matter to this guy. You call me anti-Semite. I don't care what's going on with those people. I don't care one way or another. Personally, that's their business. Just like we focus on our business, you should focus on yours. You came in here to where we was talking to us about some nonsense, and then try to make it seem like these Europeans, Caucasians, or Caucasus people have never done anything wrong. And I just had to remind you what they've done to people all throughout history. I mean, even right now, the thing that French has done to the African colonies is crazy. Even matter of fact, I think even to this day, there are some African colonies of France that still pay them reparations. They pay the French reparations. So did Haiti. So before we try to point the finger, if we doing this one big black thing, Europe has done way more damage to the melanated world than any Arab could possibly hope for. If anything, they just follow in their footsteps in a lesser degree. I mean, what the Belgians done, like it goes on and on. But my overall point was, and I'll land because he's not here. These people come into our spaces and they actually beg us for our support to do what they fights because they can't fight their own fight. That you're not going to sway us or move us off our terms. We are foundational Black Americans. We are seeking justice against the United States government for what they did. I think it's right that they pay up what they owe. So reparations on the table and local justice is all we need. So appreciate that, Flex, man. Thank you, Black Shark, man. You have a nice night.
Thank you so much, brother. Yeah, Warren got the hell up out of here. That heat, that pressure got on his ass. He got the hell up out of here. Bonafide? You're bonafide? You here? All right. Bonafide. Ain't saying nothing. Let's get Dark Pope. Dark Pope in the building. Where you at, Dark Pope? Dark Pope, unmute your mic. All right.
Oh, Tariq.
What's up, Pope?
Yeah, man. What's up, my guy? What's up?
I am good. How are you?
I am good, bro. I'm good. Hey, man. That Warren guy, bro, is actually lying, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Because look at this, my brother, right? When the Jewish went to Palestine, they went there. They were begging for their help, saying that the Nazis were trying to kill them. Blah 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 blah. They seek a place of refuge. You know, they always come as beggars when they need help. Then later on, they stab you in the back. Now look at what they are doing to the same Palestinians who actually helped them from Hitler. So they want to do the same thing to you guys. You'll help them, then they'll stab you in the back.
All right.
You know.
All right. Thank you so much, Pope. Let's get
So
up.
that's what I needed.
Farouk?
Hello, I am from Turkey. Tariq, my English very bad. I am sorry for that. But I will say something about Charlie Kirk. Tariq.
Okay.
Fuck him. I don't care about him. I don't give a shit him. Fuck him. He did this conclusion and this act like a execution for me, not assassination, execution. Do you understand what I mean?
There you go. Thank you so much, Farouk. All right, Farouk went hard body. All right, Farouk went all the way in. All right, should we get one more? It's getting hot. Should we get one more? All right, because we do have a lot of folks in here still trying to get up. Let's get Amu. Amu, hop on in, Amu. Mr. Amu. Amu, you want to unmute that mic? If you can unmute that mic, Amu, that would be absolutely phenomenal, sir. Okay, Amu ain't saying nothing. I guess Amu ain't trying to get on here with us. All right. Let me get one more. Let's get one more good one before we get up out of here. Let's get one more good one before we get up out of here. Let's get the polka dotter. Let's get the polka dotter in here.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. What's up, bro?
What's up? So Tariq, I wanted to ask. I know that we have a history of both practicing Christianity and Islam. I try to study all of them, including Mormonism. There's anti-black verses in the Book of Mormon.
Oh, yes, it is. Yep.
There are no anti-black verses in the Bible. However, there is anti-black verses in the Quran. If you read it, it says that God, after he made Adam, he tapped him on the right shoulder and pearls came out and they became white. And he tapped him on the left shoulder and coals came out and those became black. The Prophet Muhammad, there were verses talking about how white his thigh was. He had a black slave and such. So what do you think about the anti-blackness in the Islamic tradition? And can God possibly, because if God made Adam from the dirt, then Adam's skin would be like the dirt. So I don't think that God would actually be anti-black. So what do you think about that?
Yeah, a lot of it has to do with interpretation, and people can find things in the Bible, Quran, and they can flip certain things to fit their own interpretation, with the Bible, they did the whole curse of Ham thing. They used the Bible to justify anti-black racism with the Bible. They said that one of Noah's sons saw him naked and then he was cursed. And the three sons of Noah, Ham, Shem, and I forgot what the other one was, they became the different races of people, and the cursed one, Ham, was the black one, and we were destined to be cursed by the Bible. So yeah, they justify racism any way they please, if that's what they want to do. So it's really all up for interpretation. So it's very interesting. All right, but let me go ahead and wrap it on up. I've been on here for a long time, family. And then go to hiddenhistorymuseum.com. Come out to the Hidden History Museum this Saturday. We got the Funny Fall Fest. We got a poppin' event. We got a poppin' private event that's off the chain. RSVP now at hiddenhistorymuseum.com. And get your Rootwork deodorant at rootworkstyle.com. All right, I'm up out of here, guys. Puppy Akute, Lulavuri to the family. Peace.
Hey family, you all need to come down to the Hidden History Museum on Saturday, October 4th, 2025 for the Funny Fall Fest Comedy Mixer. It's hosted by Tariq Nasheed and Dwan B, and there are going to be some of the funniest comics in the game performing that night. This is the place to be. I've got a full evening lined up just for you, starting with a complimentary dinner, pop music, followed by a night of non-stop laughter. It's going to be popping for real. You don't want to miss this night of food, fun, and comedy at the Hidden History Museum. Get your tickets now at hiddenhistorymuseum.com. See you there.